Nice guys don't finish first. They don't even finish. They just quietly disappear. And the most dangerous version is the nice Christian guy because he took his weakness and baptized it, and he called it godliness. You may know him. Maybe you are him. He never rocks the boat. He keeps everyone comfortable. He avoids every hard conversation. He agrees to things he resents, and he calls it humility. He calls it being a peacemaker. He calls it gentleness. It's none of those things. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what it actually is and why it's costing you your marriage, your kids, and your respect. And I'm going to show you what to do about it. This one might sting. Stay with me anyway. Here is who I'm talking to. You are a good man. You love God. You do not want to be one of those angry, domineering guys. You've seen that wreck families and you want no part of it. So you went the other way. You became agreeable, accommodating, easy to get along with. You keep the peace at home. You do not push. You go along to get along. And somehow it is not working. Your wife seems more frustrated with you, not less. Your kids run the house. At work, you get passed over by men with half your character. And underneath, you're calm, you're agreeable, and on the surface, there's a low simmer of resentment you do not like to admit is there. You did everything you were told to do as a good Christian man, and you're finishing last. Let me tell you why. Because you cannot fix a problem you have named wrong. You think your problem is that you are too nice, that you just need to toughen up, grow a spine, be more assertive. That is not it. That is just going to send you crashing into the other ditch. Because here's what nobody told you. Nice is not a Christian virtue. It is not in the Bible. Go look. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Kindness is there. Goodness is there. Gentleness is there. Nice is not. And that is not a word game. Kindness and niceness are opposites more often than they are the same. Kindness tells your friend the truth he needs to hear. Niceness tells him what he wants to hear, so he keeps liking you. Kindness confronts your teenager. Niceness lets it slide so the night stays pleasant. Kindness is for the other person. Niceness is for you. It is a strategy to stay safe, to stay liked, and avoid the discomfort of conflict. Nice is not love. Nice is fear and a Sunday shirt. And if you still think nice is godly, let's look at Jesus, because Jesus was the most loving man who ever lived. He was also not remotely nice. He called the religious leaders a brood of vipers to their faces. He made a whip and drove men out of the temple. He looked Peter in the eye and said, "Get behind me, Satan." He let the rich young ruler walk away sad instead of softening the cost just to keep him around. He was kind to the broken and fierce with the proud. He comforted the hurting and he confronted the liars. He was gentle and he was dangerous at the same time. That is the model, not the angry tyrant, not the soft pushover, a man who was good all the way through, which means he was warm and he had a spine. Somewhere along the way, the church handed men a Jesus who was basically a quiet, harmless guy who would not hurt a fly. That Jesus does not exist. You have been trying to imitate a man who is never real. Here's the picture that ties it together. Every man is walking a road with two ditches. On one side, there's the aggressive ditch, the domineering guy, the tyrant. He leads with force and fear. He wins the argument and loses his family. Everyone knows the damage that guy does. You've probably run from becoming him your whole life. So what did you do? You swerved over and you landed in the other ditch. I call this the passive nice guy ditch. This is the pushover. He keeps the peace. He abandons his post. He avoids conflict and calls it maturity. Both ditches look like opposites. They are not. They are the same thing, wearing different clothes. The aggressive man is protecting himself with a loud mask. The nice man's protecting himself with a soft mask. Both are running from the same fear. Both are managing other people to feel safe. One does it with a raised voice. One does it with a smile and a shrug. Both of them are what I call an orphan, a man who does not know deep down that he is already loved, already approved, already a son. So he's still working the room for a verdict he already has. Sit with that for a minute, because this is the part that frees you. The nice guy thinks he's the humble one. the safe one, the godly one. He's actually just as self-focused as the tyrant. He's just quieter about it. Watch what he's really doing. He avoids the hard conversation with his wife, not to protect her, to protect himself from the discomfort. He lets his kids run wild, not out of grace, because setting a boundary might make them upset with him, and he cannot handle not being liked. He says yes when he means no. Then he resents it. Then he goes cold. And then he wonders why everyone is frustrated with a guy who is so agreeable. Because they can feel it. Your wife does not want a man she has to manage. She wants a man she can trust to lead. Your kids do not need a buddy who folds. They need a father with a spine. And nobody respects what they can walk on. That is why the nice guy finishes last. Not because he's too good, because he's not actually good. He's afraid. And everyone around him can feel the absence of a man who is supposed to be there. Now, here is the part that matters. You cannot fix this by trying to be more assertive. Guys try that. They read a book, they puff up, they set some boundaries for a week, and then they either snap back to the pushover or they overcorrect and crash into the tyrant ditch. Because they treated it as a behavior problem, and it is not that. It is an identity problem. It is what we call here a root. The nice guy is passive because underneath he believes a lie. Some version of, I'm only safe when everyone is happy with me. My value depends on being liked. If I show a hard edge, I'll be rejected. That belief got installed a long time ago, probably before you were 10, and a grown man is still arranging his whole life around it. You cannot behavior modify your way out of a root belief. You can only get it exposed and dealt with at the source. That is deeper work. It is not a slogan. It's not a weekend of trying harder, but it starts with seeing the lie for exactly what it is. I know this one from the inside. For years, I was the guy who kept the peace. My marriage had quietly slid from newlyweds to roommates. And instead of stepping into that and having the hard, honest conversation, I avoided it. I buried myself in work. I buried myself in going to the gym and being busy just enough to never have to face it. I told myself I was being patient, keeping the peace. Not going to make this worse. I was not being patient. I was being a coward. I was avoiding the discomfort and calling it love. And my silence was not protecting my marriage. It was slowly killing it. Nothing changed until I stopped hiding behind nice and dealt with what was actually underneath it. The fear, the lie, and the orphan. When that changed, I could finally show up, warm and with a spine, present instead of performing. And my marriage came back to life, not because I got louder, because I stopped hiding. So hear me, God is not asking you to become a jerk. Swerving into the tyrant ditch is not growth. That's just trading one orphan for another. He's asking you to become a son, secure enough that you do not need everyone's approval, which means you can finally be kind and honest at the same time, gentle and strong, warm and unwilling to abandon your post. That is not a personality you're born with. It's an identity you step into. The nice guy and the tyrant are both orphans. The man you are actually made to be is a son. And a son does not finish last. He leads. So 2 next steps for you. First, I want you to subscribe to the channel. If you're done being the nice guy who finishes last and you want to become the son who leads, this is your corner now. We go to the root here. We do not manage the mask. Second, I made you something. It's totally free. It breaks down the 3 lies that keep good Christian men trapped, including the exact lie underneath the nice guy. It will help you spot which one has been running you. The link is in the description below. Whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. Let's go change it. Lead, fight, win. Before you go, one thing. This is called Built to Dominate. I wrote it for the man who is saved, serious about God, and still fighting the same battle he lost 5 years ago. That is not a discipline problem. It is code running underneath him that he never chose to install. There are 3 lies in here, only 3. They got installed before you were 8 years old, and they've been making your decisions ever since. I am what I do. I am what I have. I am what other people say about me. Most men read the first one and know immediately which one is theirs. And this is not something you skim. After each lie, there is one thing you actually do out loud. 20 minutes, start to finish. It costs nothing. Visit standard standard59.com/free. That is standard59.com/free. The link is right below this video. You were not built to play small. You were built for dominion. Lead, fight, win.